Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday live stream. As usual, we have a live camera chat all about Nikon and all other brands as well. Or, as I'm going to call it from now on, is Coffee with Con, or Coffee with Con. So, hi, everyone. Hope everyone's okay. Can you hear me okay? Is the connection okay? Let's get this out of the way. So last week, apparently, we were buffering for the last 15 minutes. So some of you missed what was the best-selling Nikon lens at Grace, and it was Z24-120. That's that. Apparently, there was some noise on our line, on our dial-up connection, clearly. So what we had to do is we basically had to upgrade our dial-up modem to, to a separate line, basically. So there's no noise on the line this time around. So hopefully the connection is going to be good, but we are talking about installing fiber. Apparently, right now, it's an old building, so there's a lot of things like, I have fiber at home, 1 gig up, 1 gig down, etc. But for the old buildings in central London, to get fiber is quite difficult. So apparently, now we can. So hopefully we're going to get the fiber soon. When this happens, we're going to stream in a beautiful 1080p and maybe 4K, who knows. But we will try to improve the live stream. I think once I get a bit more time on other things that just kind of running the show, because YouTube, unfortunately, is about 20% of what I do here. So, but once I get more time, maybe you're going to put some beautiful graphics up, make it beautiful and sexy. So let's try to do that. So while we're going to have Coffee with Con today, I can tell you that Coffee Fund is open. I want to hear from you. What is your dream camera? The dream camera can be something that's already here and exists. So it could be camera from 20, 50 years ago to a dream camera that may come in 50 years. So, okay, maybe let's not go as far as I'm going to have a camera inside my eye and I'm just going to take a picture with my eyeball. Let's not do this. But I would say let's talk less specifications and let's talk less about next couple of years, but let's talk about 5 years down the road. What for you would be the ultimate camera? So, think about this way. I can start myself and I can tell you that, let's say, for me, the dream camera would be finally to get a true medium format sensor. So 6x7, basically. So give me a Mamiya 7 in digital form with this size sensor. This is going to be my dream camera. Obviously, I understand that the cost of it is going to be probably ginormous. And at the moment, we have, 33x45 sensors, which is it's even less than 645 in film terms, So I would call it a mini medium format. And obviously we have phase 1 sensors that are close to 645, but we actually haven't seen anything 6x7 like, or even larger than that. And obviously there are some prototype large format cameras available. I think I've seen articles a couple of years ago, but obviously those cost a fortune and they are literally made one by one, so it's not a mass produced or anything like this. So, so that's my dream camera. I want to hear yours. So let's start with John here. So hi, John. He said, I find myself a great place with cameras. I own the Nikon Z9 for all my action wildlife needs with Z8 as a backup, or when I would like something smaller, I have my Hasselblad system for studio, which is great. It's good to be in a position where we can have several cameras. And I'm in that position as well. So let's say I have my studio camera, which is GFX 100S. I have access to Nikon Z8. So if there's any event type of work, I would shoot with this, or let's say sports action type, basically people moving, kids, etc. So and I have a Nikon ZF as a fun camera. So I'm covered. But if we're gonna talk about one camera that does it all, and not does it all basically, but I would say it does it all for you specifically, because let's say again. My Mamiya 7 is a manual focus camera. It's a rangefinder camera, so it's not sports in action. It's not really a portrait camera, but but for me that would be, let's say, the answer. But for you, it could be something else. For you, it could be, let's say, a camera that shoots at 10,000 frames per second, or something like this, in a video mode, in 8K or something like this. So you never know. But I want to hear from you. So let's see. Okay, so Becky's not here today. As you can see, her poster disappeared, so she's on other things, but she is back in the United Kingdom. So we're going to try to continue record our podcast in a distant form, as you saw the one that we released very recently. So have a look at that. Not going to record next week. There's not going to be live stream next week as well. Just because I'm going away. I'm going to Lanzarote. So Is it a Nikon Z6 III launch? Who knows, but I'm going there. So, for fun, so I'm going to share some stories with you on that. But yeah, so next week we're going to release some videos. So some location shoots that me and Becky did back in December. So that's going to be out. And then we're going to be back the following week with more kind of day-to-day content. And for the following live stream, I have a guest scheduled as well, which is going to be fun. I promise you. That's going to be an amazing one. I'm looking forward to that. And no, it's not reaching. So let's say that. Okay, so let's see. John says, I'm 100% film shooter, and my dream camera, which I already own, is Nikon F5. It was in action this morning with a Nikon 35-70 kit lens, shooting close-ups to of the effects of hard frost. Okay, 35-70, I think it's 2.8 push-pull macro zoom, which is a very, very nice lens. It's one of those that I remember when I started, we were still selling it brand new. So that's how old I am as well. So, but Nikon F5, big chunky camera. Not a dream camera for me, but dream camera for John. So that's what it is. Everyone is different, which is really, really good to hear. Okay, Paul P says, for action work and global shutter with good dynamic range is a dream idea. I think, Paul, that will come. I think that will definitely come because obviously we see Sony camera release now. Obviously, it's first-gen camera, so dynamic range is an issue, but technology has to improve somehow. So that's the thing about this. So we're gonna, we're gonna wait for maybe 3-5 years, and we definitely will see improvement on this. But it's good to start. I guess with all those new technologies, we all become kind of a better testers for all those, or guinea pigs. So we spend all those money, and then we know that in 3 years, we're going to have, let's say, double the improvement of what we got right now. So in terms of this, I would say if you want to be safe with your money, maybe don't buy global shots right now, but wait for 3-5 years. Obviously, if you use Nikon equipment, wait for Nikon solution. Nikon, as we kind of tend to learn, is maybe they're not always first to the party one, but when they come out with something, they make sure it works. And they make sure it's really, really good. So again, very similar analogy to Apple as well. Yeah, so, Apple never first, but when they do things, they generally try to do them as user-friendly as possible. So, which is really good. Paul was asking me a question. Con, does Moore's law of computers apply to camera pixel counts? Well, no, you've noticed that. I mean, we've kind of stuck at 24 megapixels at this point. So, I don't think we're going to see, was it double the transistors every 2 years or so? Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that. And obviously, if you look at PCs now as well, we kind of slowed down on those, but there's still improvements. I do see that PCs will continue to improve, but I think right now, with the resolution of the pixels on the sensors, we're now trying to reach more, either like go towards global shutter, which is completely new technology, and then proceed from there. These obviously organic sensors and things like this that's been on the horizon for quite some time from, is it Panasonic, I think? Yes. So, but if you're looking at the traditional sensors, we're now kind of trying to get for the quality pixels, so less noise, greater dynamic range. So that's what we're going for. And then, yeah, I think Nikon Z6 III is going to be an interesting one because, will they stick with their 24 megapixel sensor, or will they go with a new sensor to maybe 33 megapixel or something like this? So I hope it's going to be 33, but, if you look at the review websites, at the rumors websites, then they tend to, think that it's going to be 24, so obviously, I've been right in the past, I've been wrong in the past, so we'll find out what's going to happen. So, okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look what everyone else says. Any sensor, so Roy says, any size sensor is possible if you can justify the cost. Exactly. But I personally think that, like, we can talk about resolution, the size of the sensors, but, if you think about film photography, yeah, we shot full frame effectively most of the time. We never had DX, maybe AP, so we had, half frame cameras, again, not much yet. So there was Olympus half frame. That's pretty much it, So majority of people would shoot 35 millimeter, as simple as that. We're now looking at 35 millimeter full frame as a gold standard and as something that we need to aspire for. While DX is, a lot of people say, well, my DX or my Micro Four Thirds sensor is as good as full frame sensor. It's an interesting argument, and there's a pros and cons of both arguments. I tend to think that the larger area, capturing area, will produce better results. You know, but we at this point we also are starting to argue about the size of the pixels themselves, etc. So you know, but yeah, personally, I would like to get 6x7 sensor. Yeah, so that's for me would be quite interesting. Obviously, again, I'm not in a position where I would outlay maybe 10 or 20,000 pounds for that. But we're talking about dream cameras, no cost attached, no way we can afford. What do you think? You know, what's your dream camera? You know, so yeah. David says, yeah, 1 gigapixel back for 4x5 under under 5K. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's going to happen. Maybe it's not going to be 5K, but maybe it will be 5K equivalent in 2024. So, but maybe in 2030 or something like this. You know, you never know. So that's what it is. David Mascora says his dream camera is Nikon SP, which came out in 1957. And it's a beautiful camera. I love Nikon rangefinders. I think the build quality is better. A few people mentioned to me, I forgot the names, but a few people mentioned to me that actually the Nikon rangefinders were built better than Leicas. Again, the random comment, can't back it up, but that's what I was told. I was told. But my only thing about Nikon rangefinders is I really wish they would have a square patch instead of the round one. You know, so that's because, yeah, once you kind of get used to square patch, once you go to the circle patch, the focusing patch in the rangefinder, when you're lining up the two images together, you know, that becomes a little bit more difficult to align. But yes, beautiful Nikon SP. We just got limited edition Nikon SP in black, produced into year 2005, I think. So that one just came in. I'm not sure if it's on the website, but it's unused. It's just beautifully made, and it's just really nice to hold in the hands. Yeah, so like, I wish it was a time where I could afford one back in the day. Yeah, I had the chance to buy brand new year 2000 Nikon S3 for £1,000, and I was too young and too poor to afford one. So that's one of the things I regret. But yeah, again, Nikon rangefinders are fantastic. All right, so let's see. Let me just scroll down real quick what we have. No, David, I haven't watched Kodachrome yet. So that's that. Dave says, greetings from Chelmsford. Hello. West Cumbria here as well. Randall is watching live stream with us right now, which is nice. Always good to see you, Randall. Will says Z6 Mark III 30 frames per second, best autofocus ever. Well, I think that's coming. I mean, I don't think we can, you know, the Z6 III autofocus is going to be worse than Nikon Z8 or ZF or Z9. I think it's going to be on par. You know, maybe just tiny bit, maybe slower than Z9. But to be honest with you, because Z9 came out quite a while ago, I personally think that we should see an improvement. Again, I'm not concerned about the second XP7 processor. I mean, again, it's an all rumor stage at the moment. And if you look at people, different people interpreting the Chinese characters differently, you know, it could be, yeah, it could be double processor, it could be something else entirely. But why not? If there's one processor, it's going to be two processors, who knows, you know? So, but yeah, I personally think that unless XP, the second processor does something and does it on a day one, you know, then if it's just a kind of a minor improvement or something, let's not advertise it. You know, let's not make it a big marketing point, because obviously, you know, this whole second processor in Z generation 2 cameras, Z6, Z7, is a kind of a sore point for a lot of people. You know, and again, we're talking about people who are kind of following this stuff day to day. I don't think, you know, just people who just buy their cameras and they just enjoy photography, they don't follow the rumors or the news, they'll care about this. Okay, let's see what's next. Hello. Okay, we're busy in the chat. I'm catching up. I'm way behind you in the chat, so let's see. Okay, so Steve Neal says, my dream camera would have lower noise, wider dynamic range than the current models without resorting to computational photography or AI of smartphone. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely an argument for low resolution, high dynamic range. Well, better low light performance, generally higher resolution sensors give us greater dynamic range. So, but yes, if you look at the cinematography cameras, we look at ARRI cameras. They released the camera very recently last year, and It's got a crazy dynamic range. I think we're talking about 18, 19 stops of dynamic range. I could be wrong on this, but it's been definitely more than kind of standard 12 to 14 that we get with our cameras nowadays. So if you're going to get there, and in that kind of range, obviously ARRI camera costs a lot more, but that would be an interesting development. Okay, Joe says the physical properties of the photon seems to indicate that pixel pitch can't exceed 55 megapixel full frame before catastrophic effects of diffraction, computational, photo beyond. Okay, well, yeah, that could be the case as well. Maybe we'll go with a larger sensor to increase the resolution meaningfully, So that's the thing. But yeah, computational photography will come into place. I think it's being used everywhere now, so why not photography as well? Colin says to David that he grabbed the Nikon ZF. I assume it's a comment towards Nikon SP, and he loves it. Love my Nikon ZF as well. We've got a second-hand 40mm lens. I'm contemplating of shall I take it with me or not for the trip. But yeah, the ZF is a great camera. Perfect video camera, which is, I'm very pleased about because this is the camera we film content on. So I really enjoy that. Yetley Van Gees, and I'm sorry I'm butchering your name, says ZF with FTZ Mark III with AIS tab to make compatible with lenses. That would be great. Yeah, I think there's definitely a case for this. I think there's a need for it. The problem is the price, and I think if Nikon can find a good solution not to make it too expensive, but also maybe more expensive than the current FTZ2 offering, and focus those lenses, that would be incredible. I think we're not looking at it from marketing point of view, I say. I think we're looking at it from the goodwill point of view of acknowledging your customers and just the customers that were with you for so long. So, I think Nikon should look at it from PR point of view and not from the sales point of view of FTZ Mark III. So that's my opinion. It's always difficult. Like when Nikon DF came out, it wasn't, they knew that they're not going to sell a lot of those cameras, but it was a passion project and they approved of that. So it's also led to the release of cameras like Nikon ZF and Nikon ZF-C first and Nikon ZF. So I personally think that FTZ Mark III, that will drive AFD type lenses and manual AIS lenses is necessary, even if it's going to price highly. Yeah, I don't think we need to look at it from the sales point of view. I think we need to look at it from the point of, we need to acknowledge the loyal customers that have been with us for so long. Z Rangefinder, Richard Fraser says, I'm definitely up for that. I really think that someone needs to give Leica a competition, a run for their money, because Leica, let's say, beautiful cameras, obviously well made. The price, though, for M11 is extremely high, and I think that there's definitely a massive gap in, let's say, £3,000 to £5,000 range, where if a competitor release something that is close enough to what Leica does, then we have a winner. And that's why I feel like that Nikon ZF could be a limited edition, all metal, brass, you name it, sell it for £1,000 more, make it limited, but, people will buy that, and you can market it the same way. So you have Nikon ZF for everyone, which is the one that we have now, and we also have full-on metal, no plastic Nikon ZF for, again, people who would appreciate such things. And again, you know you're not going to sell as many of those, but that just gives you an idea of, okay, there's a Leica that makes full, like cameras that are exquisite and great. And then now we have this Nikon camera that does it. And obviously, who knows, maybe Nikon SP in digital. I would be all over it personally. I think it's something that I would really enjoy. Matt Adam says, why would you need more than 24 megapixels? Well, Adam, Matt, very simple. Have you seen the resolution of our screens lately? Your phone, your laptop, we're now starting to talk about 8K, people buying, like, to be honest with you, like, I don't think about monitors that much because, okay, people maybe buy their 4K monitors, but if you buy a laptop nowadays, especially, MacBooks, if you buy phones nowadays, the resolution of those screens is huge. So suddenly your 24 megapixel file starts to look small or have very limited cropping functionality. As simple as that. Now, there are ways of improving on that by, increasing the image artificially within, let's say, means of Photoshop or something like this. But it's not great. It's, you know, if something you have to go through another step to do this, then again, it's one of those. So some people who will like to tinker with things, they will learn all those steps. But some people just want everything now and want things to work out of the box. So once we start to add extra steps between those experiences, that's where we're going to have an issue. So that's the reason, really. So I think, you know, we need to look at where the video goes, where the screens go nowadays, and increase resolution accordingly. That's as simple as that. So again, I'm not advocating for 100 megapixels. I think it's a specialty thing, and obviously, you know, I have a 100 megapixel camera myself. So, but it's not a day-to-day use, if you see what I mean. But I think that if we can jump from 24 to 33 megapixels, which is, I think 24 megapixels is what, 6,000 pixel wide. So let's see, 33 megapixel resolution would be what? Resolution pixels. Let's just see what is going to be pixels wide. So 33 is going to be 7,000 pixels. So we're looking at 20% increase. So if you can get that 20% increase, I think that's pretty good already. You know, again, not advocating for, let's say, you know, quadruple of resolution, but I think, you know, if you can go 33, 45, that's a good way to do this. You know, obviously you may agree, disagree, and I personally think that we need to have a low-res camera with amazing low-light capability, that the one that sees in the dark, basically. There is definitely a case for this, but that's the thing, we're talking about different cameras for different purposes. I don't personally think that one camera can do it all. And if we're talking about one camera that can do it all right now, I think Nikon Z8 is the one, in terms of pricing point, but, you know, and what it does for a lot of people and different application to photography. You know, I don't think that 24 megapixel will speak to people who need resolution, who need, you know, advertising agencies, fashion, you know, like if you look at the, let's say advertising agencies, they shoot all on phase ones, you know. So if you can get, you know, a larger sensor camera, which is much slower, yeah, so, and get you the resolution, they will take it. That's the thing, it's as simple as that. But yeah, like, don't think we're going to see 100 megapixels on, you know, on a full frame body. I'm sure we will see. I've looked at, recently, for some reason, Samsung S24 phone came up. I think it's recently announced or something like this. It's got 200 megapixel sensor. It's a tiny sensor in the phone. You know, do you think the image quality is going to be good? I'm definitely not. I mean, you know, but like you can make the numbers. And obviously, I think what we need to do now, if you increase the resolution, we need to increase it, not just pixel count, but also make it a quality improvement in terms of image quality overall. So could be at a dynamic range, or could be at a low light performance. All right, let's see. So, okay, more questions. Another thing I would love to see from Nikon, a full-frame X100V competitor. Definitely, X100V is the way. Like, if we can get something from Nikon on that space, that would be amazing. I don't think they need to get to this optical viewfinder thing. They can just create a very interesting point and shoot. You know, maybe they can go more towards Ricoh GR style, who knows? Or maybe they'll have a electronic viewfinder, so with a little screen inside instead of optical viewfinder. So, you know, it's good to have options. And I personally think that it's nice to have a full frame point and shoot camera. You know, so, you know, not necessarily similar style that X100V, but yes. And I think Fuji X100V will be replaced very soon now, because the rumors are starting to creep up already. So we're starting to see those. Zahid says, I want a 75 megapixel camera with 16-bit dynamic range. This will enable you to use APS-C glass in crop mode and still get good resolution, better pricing as well. Well, better pricing is the question, yeah. So I think they come out first, and then you second and third generation will reduce the price of the first generation cameras. So just have a look at, again, G100S 100 megapixel camera was $5.5, I think, at the time. They just released 3 years down the road GFX 102. Which is similar form factor, and then that camera now is what, I think 6 or 7, but the second hand and even brand new GFX 100S we're going for as low as I think 3.5 in UK. That's a huge discount over the price of a new one. If you need a resolution dynamic range, that's an interesting option as well. Rich says, so ZRM rangefinder monochrome. Yeah, monochrome camera would be quite cool. I think that's again, one of the things that I don't think the numbers support it, but cool thing to have. Like, that's the thing. Ricoh Pentax is very different. They kind of they position themselves for kind of not mass-produced goods, are more like a niche things. And I think the companies, because of that, it's not a huge company, it's quite a small company, but they can justify the cost of research and development and releasing those products to run the company. That's the thing. Nikon is kind of looking at the bigger scale, and that's the thing. So for them to release a product like this and sell in small quantities is going to be quite difficult, but you know, you never know. Hello, Seth. How are you? What did you miss? I'm not sure. I'm here. I'm still here. Becky's not here, but you know, it is what it is. Seth, you're not flying to Spain, are you? They're not, you know, they're not flying you. What's interesting to me, yeah, with this rumor about Lanzarote next week, yeah, so it seems like the confirmations we have are only from North American YouTubers. Well, not confirmation, but we have North American YouTubers flying somewhere. I've looked at UK. I don't see anything, at least on social media. So normally they would have Kai doing this, so he hasn't posted anything recently. If you look at Rich's post, he's in Iceland, unless he's been there last week and he's just posting it. You know, so but I don't know. I'm not sure if we're going to see any announcement next week. I wonder if they want to show the camera, if they want to let the YouTubers to record their videos and have a good time with the camera, just long time, so they can record their content, and then maybe we'll see an announcement later in February. I don't know. So, but I'm not 100% sure that we like Z6 Mark III is happening next week. That's my thing. So that's why I'm flying to Spain now, to Lanzarote myself. So just look out for for all the usual suspects, the YouTubers. All right, so let's see. Rich Fraser, 100 megapixel would give you 4:1 binning for low light. 25 megapixel could be possible. Yeah, you never know. Let's see. People don't get what comes with high resolution. That's what Seth says. You can't close down. Or you cancel the details anyway. More data to process, so the cameras get slower. The higher ISO noise is just diminished returns. True. That's the thing. But the thing about this is 24 megapixel is not the answer. That's the thing. I think Nikon kind of hit a nice point with 45 megapixels. That's the thing. And then again, my background more kind of studio fashion photography. So, okay, for studio, yes, you want to get the best image quality, low ISOs, so you're going to look for diffraction, etc. It's finding balance between diffraction and the sharpness of the image. But let's say if you look at, editorial shoots, fashion photography, image quality per se in terms of sharpness is not about this, about the feel and the mood of the imagery. And they need the resolution for retouching purposes. They don't really need detail that much. It's the same as let's say you shoot street photography, you're not going to get a 100 megapixel camera and shoot street photography with it. Because sometimes you don't need that, as simple as that. So again, different cameras for different purposes. I don't think that one camera can do it all, in my opinion. So people who need this, they'll get the high resolution. People who don't need, or they need a very good low light camera, they will specifically look out for low resolution camera. Okay, let's see what else. If you haven't given us a like, that would be nice. I'd really appreciate it. So it's been half an hour. Let's see, we've got 190 views. Fantastic. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't see the likes really, but if you haven't hit the like, I would really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate this too as well. And thank you, Randall. I appreciate it. He says, my dream camera would be to have no communication problems in transferring files or sending pictures to your color printer or saving to your computer for email or work flawlessly. Yeah, the whole thing about wireless communication, I agree. I think we kind of need to find a solution that will give us plug and play, and either connection to your phone or to your laptop or to your printer. We're not there yet. They are getting better. Compare even to what we had 2-3 years ago. Absolutely. Is there kind of a long road ahead? I think yes. But they will improve. I think we'll get there at some point, Randall, for sure. But yes, I agree with you. I personally was thinking the other day is, why can't we live stream from our camera directly? Why can I live stream, why there's no solution where camera connects to your phone and then we can live stream from the camera? Recently, let's say, we've got this DJI Osmo Pocket 3, the one that Seth has. Thank you for the recommendation, Seth. So I just got it, and you can live stream with it. So why can't we live stream from our cameras? Why can't we have simultaneous connection with several devices? Why can't I just transfer my files now straight to my MacBook? Like I don't have a snap bridge on my MacBook. Why do I need to have a separate application for that and things like this? So there's lots of things they can improve. And obviously what we need to remember that, especially if we shoot RAW, especially if we shoot 4K, 8K video files, the file size are enormous. So wireless transfer for those type of things doesn't make sense at the moment. So but obviously our wireless standards are improving. I think we are on Wi-Fi 6 now, or 6E, if I'm not mistaken. So all sorts of things like this. We will see improvement. I think it's if where we're going to see probably Moore's law, that's probably in a Wi-Fi functionality and just connectivity between different devices. I would say. I think I do find if you can get some sort of gold standard, like a USB standard, but for Wi-Fi connection between devices, that would be incredible. That would be incredible. You know what I've noticed is coffee with scone, and I'm not actually drinking coffee, so let me just make one. All right. So Seth says, I would rather see 24 megapixel turned into a decent price stock full frame speed camera or low light for press events. Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's see what we have. Seth, what do you think? Are we going to get 24 megapixel Z6 III or 33 megapixel? Pretend you don't know. Well, I don't know. That's the thing. Ian Blackman says Nikon Z9 is his favorite camera. Rich says fixed snap bridge. I think it's working better than it was, but we're going to continue to say fixed snap bridge because, yes, there's things to improve on that. Philip Peter says Z8 kit is my ideal kit. Yes, I think perfect combination of Nikon Z8 and 24-120 f4. It's a perfect lens for perfect camera. Absolutely. It's a really, I think for me personally now, it's the camera. Definitely. If your budget allows for this, this is probably the best camera you can get on the market at the moment. Okay, so Tom Lawrence says, join late, but I really want a modern version of Coolpix A, 24 megapixel sensor, nice and compact. That's right, Coolpix A is definitely, it's one of those cameras that I think, underappreciated for sure. I think 16 megapixel sensor back in the day, 28 millimeter lens equivalent. I think they need to release one. What I can tell you is back in the day when Coolpix A came out, they had two premium point and shoot cameras in the pipeline. I think it was something like 16 to 35 lens, and another one was more like 24 to 70 lens, and it would be 2.8 to f4 variable aperture. Those were two prototypes that we were shown back in the day. We're talking about what, 10, 12 years ago. They never made it to the market. I think it's SL series. I'm not sure what the name was. It was a premium camera. Never made it to the market. So they've just decided that point-and-shoot cameras or Coolpix range is no longer valid, especially for this kind of more expensive premium products. So it was interesting to see, obviously, the presentation about it. That's never made it, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. So Seth says Lumix S5 2X lets you stream. What? Okay, here we go. So I'm glad that one camera allows for that. So I hope we're gonna have more of those. That would be amazing. Eric says, thanks for keeping the weekly chat going. Well, I appreciate it. As long as you guys watch, as long as you enjoy, it's obviously going to be a slightly different, different style of chat, but I'll do my best. We're going to call it Coffee with Con. The plan is right now, I'll try to have a guest at least once a month, a photographer. We're going to have Gray hopefully once a month, and we have an interesting project about history of Nikon we're going to do together. So I think that's going to be exciting. I want to do technical helpline 1 week, and then 1 week we're going to talk newsy things, and obviously everything is between. So that's kind of the plan, what I'm going for. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm like today, personal exercise for me is to interact with chat because it's more difficult for me. Like before, it was two of us, and it was much easier to do. Now, I am kind of forcing myself to look in the chat, look what you guys say, and interact with you, because even like compared to last week, I found it's a little bit difficult to multitask. Hopefully that thing improves all the time. Like looking, let's say, at Seth live streams, he just does 20 things at the same time. That's incredible. I want to get there at some point. Yeah, Tom says, just don't call their premium point-and-shoot camera Coolpix. I agree. Just call it, I don't know, call it something else. But I think we just need to have a very simple, like the whole cool thing. They had a cool Walker back in the day. I don't know if you've seen that one. That was a portable hard drive with a screen on it, so you can connect your camera to that and transfer the images to it. That used to be called Cool Walker. I think we had it's not 1 terabyte. I think it was like 1 gigabyte or 4 gigabyte version. That was pretty interesting. I think you can find them still on eBay. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. Need to reveal what coffee you're drinking. Okay, so my coffee at the moment is Ethiopian coffee. It's really good. I have a coffee subscription with one of the UK roasters, and they send me different coffee every month. And yeah, I don't drink milk coffee, so I prefer the actual flavor of coffee, no sugar, no milk. So that's just the way it is, you know. So which sometimes can be a problem actually. If you have really fruity coffee, it doesn't work with milk so good. So, you know, so like my wife will like, you know, like when we have guests over, they prefer like, you know, flat whites and cappuccinos. Then yeah, I generally have a separate coffee on the side just for that. All right, thank you very much. Terry says coffee top up. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Prasanna says a full frame Nikon camera with a fixed lens without autofocus, compact 35 1.2. Oh, that's, I don't know how they can make 35 at 1.2 compact. That's the thing, but would be interesting. It would be definitely interesting. I think, yeah. Do 35 f2. I think that's going to be better. Point shoot 35 f2. I don't know how much they can make it. Hopefully not very expensive, but how much would you pay for a full frame point and shoot camera, obviously premium, good sensor with a, let's say 35 f2, 35 1.8 lens, but the emphasis on being a compact in terms of lens size. How much would you pay? Would you pay £2,000 or £5,000? What would you think is realistic cost? I would say not how much would you pay. I would buy it for $1, but what do you think realistic cost of that would be? I personally think, well, Sony was quite expensive back in the day, so I assume Nikon would be within, let's say, 3 to 4K mark. It is expensive though. I think it needs to be realistically around 2 maybe, and that's, I'm not 100% it's going to sell so well. But if you're looking at X100V cost, then it should give you an idea that you need to add the cost of a full frame and different lens design as well. So it would be a little bit more expensive. So Joe says he would pay £1,200. It's not happening, Joe. You know, simple as that. They're not going to release a point and shoot full frame for £1,200. Chase said the white lens, the 35 f2 Z mount would be great. Yeah, I personally think they need to release their Ultron series like they do for Leicas. The 28 f2 Ultron and 35 f2 Ultrons are fantastic lenses. I have 28. It's perfect. It's good on Nikon ZF. You know, it's let's say you can use them on Nikon cameras, and if you look at like Friend Miranda forums, there are 2 main forums there. One is called GFX series with third-party lenses that's been going around for a long time, but now the new popular topic is Nikon ZF, Nikon Z series, and Nikon ZF as a platform for all your old lenses. And this is to do with big mount, Nikon Z mount, and also adaptability of all lenses for that mount. So if you got some Soviet lenses, if you got old LTM type lenses, you know, screw lenses, etc., there's so many adapters that you can use that it's, you know, like it's a perfect camera to, you know, if you want to see character on your lens, you want to try, you know, million different lenses, not just Nikon ones. Nikon Z platform is fantastic for that. So yeah, so 28 f2 keeps my ZF quite small and compact. I test on a Leica digital on M10R. Yes, on M10R the images look slightly better than on Nikon ZF, but we're talking maybe I don't know, if you can put a number at maybe 5% difference in terms of just overall image quality, and that's to do with a sensor. I think Leica uses thinner sensor, thinner lay in front of the sensor, whatever that is. So compared to Nikon, so that's the reason for that. All right, let's see. Gary says, I really like Z6 Mark II, but I still have both D850 and D700 along with my SLRs and vintage medium format. But I would love to see Nikon make a digital retro look of a rangefinder like S2. Yeah, I agree. So I think digital rangefinder is the way to go. Dave says he would pay to $2,500 for the point and shoot full frame Nikon digital camera. QNET X says 2,000. So yeah, I think we're looking at 2.5 mark at least. Like I don't know. I think it would be very difficult for them to make it under 2. But you know, Nikon surprised us with Nikon Z9 price. So they, you know, if they ever release this camera, they may surprise us again. Sean Chan says, my dream camera, no mechanical shutter, square sensor, no need for vertical shooting grip, viewfinder in the upper left corner, big battery, GPS, sensor, protective cover. I think these are definitely a very good requirements there. And I think, yeah, I don't know, yeah, but square sensor would be nice to see. You know, we're now starting to see, it's not exactly square, but they're kind of bigger rectangular sensors on GoPro cameras, on action cameras. So they are those kind of, you know, not traditional kind of formats of the sensors available. So I wonder, yeah, if something like this would be possible. But yeah, something like Hasselblad 6x6 sensor would be nice, you know. Let's see. John Lane says Nikon Z8 and Z9 are close to being ideal. I think they're fantastic cameras. I think like the reason why a lot of people want something like Z6 is just because they want things to be slightly smaller. So obviously we have pro requirements and we have, you know, keen enthusiast requirements, you know. So, and in terms of this, some people prefer the size over the functionality, but if they can get the functionality in a smaller size, that's going to be even better. So, you know, I personally think if we can get there, that would be amazing. And yeah, if Z6 III, I don't know, the mock-up that Max did obviously shows it's a bigger camera because that was the rumor is about. But if we can get Z6 III into the same size of the body as Z6 II, I personally think that, you know, the people who are looking for the smaller body, they would prefer this over the bigger body, but pros would prefer bigger body. I mean, I generally, if I should professionally, I would prefer to have a bigger body myself. Thank you, Patrick. Hit the like if you haven't. If you haven't subscribed, really appreciate if you subscribe as well. The numbers do matter, and the reason they matter is because the more you like the stream, the more it will be recommended to random people on the internet who may have very similar interests as you. So in terms of this, yeah, any like and subscribe definitely helps just to show this channel and show this video to a lot more people. So, and we really appreciate. Incho says, good morning from LA. Good morning. It's very, very early. I know it's very early there. It's probably about 7 o'clock. So good morning over there. Good night if you're in Australia, and good day if you're everywhere else. Okay, let's see what else. Global Shutter Z8 with ISO 64, bit better battery life, sense shift, raw pre-capture. Z8 is almost perfect, like the D850. That's what Wildest says. I think we're going to get there. That's the thing. I think it's achievable within several years of, you know, so not there yet, but I think the more technology improves, the better we will become. That's the thing. And I think it's to do, again, the processes, maybe processor can't deal with raw pre-capture at the moment. Maybe, you know, at some point, you know, XP date will increase. And as we say, you know, so as the Moore's law, you know, we increase the power of the transistors, so, and the quantity of the transistors. So overall, you know, like lots of, let's say, processors that come out, they can handle a lot more data than they used to handle. So it's not 20% improvement. It could be 50 to 100 or 200% improvement. So you never know. But we know that once one processor comes out, manufacturer will probably use it for next, let's say, 3 to 4 years before the next generation, next flagship camera comes out. Sebastopol says, simple answer, Nikon Z8 with battery life and 4K and 2K. Yep, give it 2 years, 3 years, you know. Z8 Mark II comes out, you can have your Z8 at 2K. It's as simple as that. Generally, if you wait long enough, isn't it, you get the best deals. That's the thing. But if you buy everything lace and graces right now, then you will pay premium, of course. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. All right, let's see. Dave Stoll says, unless it has a killer feature I never knew I needed, I'll be passing on Z6 III. Very happy with my current bodies. What do you have, Dave? Let us know. And let the internet decide if you need to upgrade or not, because that's how it works, isn't it? Okay. So, Film M says Z8 and ZF are perfect. I don't get why people get so picky. These cameras are great. Well, it's just the nature of the internet, you know? People get picky why I have a Christmas tree behind me, you know, on my last podcast, because, ask me about my Christmas tree, not the actually, content of the podcast, so it's just the nature of internet. We got used to it. It gives us a good laugh, so. All right, so let's see what else we have. So yeah, Dave says, I find Z6 size a bit too small for longer lenses, like 180-600 Z8 size works better for with those. That's the thing. Everyone is very different. Everyone is different. Someone needs smaller. That's the thing. Sometimes I say things and people say, no, you're wrong. Well, no, it's just, I say what I think, what I would personally enjoy. And obviously, what I say doesn't mean that this is the ultimate truth, if you see what I mean, because we're all different people and we use different things. That's the thing. But yeah, I think we have Z8, Z9, ZF. Once we get to Z6 Mark III, I think that's, again, if you see, like, we got flagship, the most expensive camera, then we release slightly less expensive camera. Now we're going to release slightly less expensive camera. I think that's just the way it's going to be. And obviously that just means that eventually we're going to get Z5 Mark II with a lot of technology, so that's the thing, at a low price, but it will take time. So Seth says Z6 III will be worth for the new processor alone and their clear support for firmware updates for XSpeed 7. Yes, Nikon definitely changed the perception around the firmware updates, because what they've done with the Z9 firmware updates, just building this whole platform for the new generation camera, is incredible. Obviously, people with Gen 2 cameras, they may feel a little bit shortchanged in there. But again, I think we just see what Nikon is building towards to. And that's just the way it is. Again, unfortunately, with some things, we pay for new technology sometimes, and global shutter. If you buy the camera now, you're paying for technology. Dynamic range is not amazing, but you get a lot of benefits for other things. So, in 2-3 years, they release a new one, and then it's going to be so much better in terms of dynamic range compared to what it is now, that you're going to feel like, yeah, now I need to upgrade, Well, if you have something like Z8 right now, I don't know if you, when would you need to upgrade? I mean, we have people still buying D850s. D850 was in top 10 best-selling cameras of 2023, so in top 10. And that just tells you something, isn't it? Because it tells you that there are people who, will buy that technology. They like the feel of good old DSLR. The sensor is so good that if you do specific type of photography, that's all you need. So there's a reason for that. But one of the things, yeah, we'll start to see. Some people buy D850s, some people will start to buy Z6 IIIs. Everyone is different. All right, let's see. Dedicated premium vlogging camera, one step up from DJI Pocket. Would be cool. I think, I have a feeling that Nikon will get into the video space, but I think we'll start to see more on that. As we discuss on our 2023 conclusion video, I think we've kind of reached the point of saturation where, in terms of lenses, we are good. We know where the cameras are going. We know what technology they're going to do there. So I think now, because lenses are there, so maybe Nikon can spend more time on releasing a video camera, dedicated video camera, or at least applying some research and development. But if you look at the video functionality of Nikon Z9 and Z8 cameras, it's really, really good. Even Nikon ZF, surprisingly good. Again, we're talking maybe dedicated videographers will find features that they all need, and let's say Nikon cameras don't have it, so there's still things to add there. But for a lot of people, the video features on those cameras are really, really good. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to refresh chat in here because it got stuck for a moment. Wow, it's 3:05. Time is going fast. That's pretty good. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas or your dreams, about the perfect camera from Nikon or anyone else, definitely put them in the comments, because, would be nice if Nikon would release another DSLR, don't you think? But, again, the dreams can be dreams. So that's the thing. But would be cool. Would be cool for sure. If Nikon can keep going to systems, that would be amazing. Champagne Sumo says, I use both DSLRs and mirrorless. It depends on what I'm shooting. I agree. So where do you use DSLRs, Champagne Sumo? Tell me. That would be quite interesting to know. So what's the choice for mirrorless? What's the choice for the DSLRs? let's go crazy and put out F611. Oh, it's F6 Mark II with a live view. Wow, that would be crazy. I don't know. I like my film cameras with an optical viewfinder. It's just nice. It's just nice. A good feel. Absolutely. Felmam says, what do you think Nikon would do a super small photo only camera like a Ricoh? Well, that's the thing. I think if we get Ricoh and we get Fujifilm X100V, I think definitely Nikon has a potential there. I personally think Nikon will go full frame, but because it's not an interchangeable lens, it's a fixed built-in lens, they can go with the APS-C sensor. But we all know that Nikon wants you to go to full frame, so that's the thing. So I think personally that if they release full frame camera, it would be different, because if they release point-and-shoot DX camera, it competes with Ricoh and X100V, and those are both fantastic choices. They have dedicated followers. If you look around, there's big groups, they do walks, it's incredible. Just, have a look what people do. I think if Nikon release point-and-shoot full frame, that will separate them from the competition. Then you have a very different approach, a very different proposition to this type of photographers. The reason why Nikon ZF sells so well, a part of Nikon users, is because it makes people who shoot Fujifilm F series cameras to think, I was always thinking about full frame, but I didn't like the modern looks. And now, there is this thoughts that now they have a retro camera with a full frame, So, and that's the reason. That's the reason. You look at the Fuji forums, there's a lot of discussion of Nikon ZF in there, So I think it's a good Trojan horse from Nikon. So yeah, David Liu says digital 35 Ti and 28 Ti. Yeah, I'm all up for it. Or again, my dream camera would be any film camera from Nikon that would be manufactured today. So if Nikon decides to re-release FM3A, just like Leica M6, if Nikon decides we're gonna release FM3A, I would be absolutely over the moon. The reason for that being is that obviously film cameras, they're getting old, the support and just parts availability is shrinking. So, there are not many technicians available to fix those cameras. So when you release a camera like this, then you will basically make sure that you're going to have support for this camera for at least maybe 5 to 10 years, and you'll make parts and you'll train people to service those cameras. So for me, that would be incredible. So the reason why I'm excited about Pentax cameras, film cameras, is because they're going to be produced now, which means you can buy, if you're a film photographer and you want something brand new, you have that itch, you can buy something brand new and you have a warranty on it and you're going to have a support. And for a lot of young people who come into this type of photography, and when something breaks, they're not sure what's happening. They take a shot and say, why have light leaks, etc. If you look at the, let's say, Reddit forums on analog photography, there's so many newbie questions where people say, oh, why do I have light leak? Why my roll film is completely blank and things like this. So it's just because, they probably buy a secondhand camera and they're not sure, if they need some TLC or some refoaming, seals, perished, etc. So buying a brand new camera just ensures that you're going to get support and good out-of-the-box experience for people who want to have that. Chase is saying, I'm thinking about getting a second ZF camera to convert it to full spectrum. Well, that's incredible. That would be nice. I didn't know they convert those, but that's incredible. I know that they do Z7 Mark IIs, which is cool, and obviously DSLRs. I think we have a D80 or D90 converted to full spectrum. I need to check downstairs. We had one around. Okay, Chris says ZF is 95%. ZF with all Z8 specs would be my perfect camera. I have 2 ZFs now. Well, who knows? Maybe you're gonna have ZF Mark II with the Z8 specs, But technically, ZF does a lot what Z8 does. You remove the frame rate, but like all the face recognition and the autofocus is really, really good on that. So, which is incredible. That's the thing. Normally, I would shoot with manual focus lenses for street photography, hyperfocal distance setup. With this, I can just have face recognition, press a phone button on 28 pancake, which is not the fastest lens in the world, and it will still recognize the face, will focus in time before I press the button, which is incredible. It's, it's good to have such technology nowadays. Matt says next week give Seth password to your YouTube account if you're there. Well, I'll be happy to have Seth as a guest. That's for sure. You know, I always love the energy of those live streams. Definitely, it's pretty good. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, the biggest selling point of Fujifilm is with retro look and its film simulations. Well, John, you can have your film simulation on Nikon cameras. We have whole video for it, so have a look at this. I think Fujifilm markets it really well, though. That's the thing. Gonna let me know if you want the virtual company 1 week on here. Seth, I'm always happy to have you here. You know, I'm always happy to have you here. So definitely, let's. You know, when you have time, let's set it up, and yeah, let's do it. Always good to hear you. So let's see. John says, I stopped shooting film in 2008. Now would go back, not a chance. Spent many weeks in the darkrooms, and I just love the software. Exactly, that's really good. There are people who will say completely the opposite. I actually can't stand screens anymore. I'm looking at the screen 24/7. My eyes are just, you know, red, and they're going to glow in the dark after looking at the screen all this time. So like for me, film photography actually is something the time off for my photography. So, you know, and takes my mind off, you know, so everyone is different. I'm actually looking at setting up a darkroom, you know, so I'm thinking that setting up, well, looking at 2 enlargers at the moment, one for color, one for black and white. So, you know, that's me. So everyone is different. Everyone has different needs. But what we need to know is, what we need to understand that, yeah, from professional point of view, professional photography point of view, film is a small percentage of people who would use those. Of course, it's all digital nowadays. And I absolutely understand. Yeah, so if you've done professional photography back in the day with film, yes, you've lived those horrors of, you know, getting your film developed and it's blank, and, you know, waiting for the film being developed and printing and all this, you know, and dust removal and all sorts of, you know, but there are different way of approaches. If you want things fast, you go digital. You know, if you want to enjoy the process, yes, you want to open an album cover and read the text, you know, and see the beautiful artwork. You know, very similar approach to, let's say, having physical book, or let's say a vinyl record, and, you know, things like this. I mean, the feeling of printing your own negative, yeah, into making it a physical object into print, that's just incredible feeling. Just seeing it developed in your chemicals, you know, that's incredible feeling. You know, I personally think when people start to sell prints nowadays as well, you know, if I know that the print is made in a darkroom, color print, I would definitely, for me, it would have higher value than something that would be digitally printable on a printer and things like this. So, you know, that's the thing. But yeah, as I say, everyone is different, and, you know, like, I respect that everyone has different opinion. It's really good. It's really, really good. Okay, so yes, no, just use one color, enlarge it for black and white, magenta for contrast, yellow for midtones. Yes, yeah, I've looked into that, actually. I've looked into that, but then I thought I can just buy different heads, can I? So, you know, so I can do that as well. So, but yeah, enlarge requirements pro minimum 5x4, so 4x5 format and smaller. So that's the plan. So I just, yeah. There's a whole room situation that needs to be addressed first, but I am starting to collect certain bits and parts for this, and I'm working on one project that I may share with you later on. So, but it's not ready yet. So, but yeah, there's a project I'm working on that involves all this. So, all right. Oh, thank you very much, Jacob. He says, Jakub, coffee for Yukon. Nice stream. Thank you very much. Hope Nikon will show me love. To DX as well. XH2S competitor would be my dream camera. Green from Czech Republic. Thank you very much, Jakub. Yeah, I mean, there's a case, as we always say, there's a case for G500 replacements. Would be nice to see. Again, I really wish there would be more rumors, though. That's the thing, because it's so quiet on that horizon that obviously I personally think we need to, you know, if you want that camera, you need to make yourself heard, you know, so write in the forums, write comments, hopefully it gets to the people higher ups who can then say, oh, there's actually interest for this camera. So, you know, maybe we can, you know, look into this. So, but yeah, Pro DX would be nice. Absolutely. I agree there. All right, guys. Well, it's time. It's time. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I definitely enjoyed it. I personally feel like it's well, we have a good connection. It says excellent connection. So that's already good news. We weren't buffering this time. So that's already good news. I feel like I talk to you more as well. So that's good news. So hopefully, slowly, we'll get to the point where you enjoy this, where the change of me being with you, I know both of us kind of will grow on you a little bit, and hopefully, you know, you'll enjoy it, because it's always nice to have you here. I think we have a great community. You know, I want to hear from you. If you have any suggestions, feel free to email me, leave it in the comments below. Yeah, you know, I'll be happy to hear it. So obviously, as I say, YouTube is about 20% what I do with Grades of Westminster. So there's a limited time where I can apply those things, but I always enjoy talking to you. I always enjoy creating content. So I hope you enjoy it too. So no live stream, no podcast next week, because I'm in Spain. I'm enjoying the sun. I'm doing some film photography, but we're going to have 2 videos out, hopefully. One is definitely already ready. It's a Tamron 150 to 500 hands-on, aka review, whatever. And then hopefully I will finish the Voigtlander video, which been on my desk for a long time. So the Voigtlander lenses on ZF. So hopefully I'll get this out to you as well by the end of the week. Can't promise, but at least one video is out next week. And then the following week we should be back on a regular schedule where we're going to have a podcast and we're going to have a live stream on a weekly basis. And for that live stream in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to have a special guest. So I hope you're going to be excited. I will let you know later on. But thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.